Hi everybody, this is John Seville from Acorn Wealth. This is your executive summary for the 17th of December. So, Christmas almost upon us, or the holiday season. The S&P 500 gave a little gift from the Fed announcement today. Of course, we had that nice little rally right off this Fibonacci level of just below it from 1980, right up into the resistance of where that declining head and shoulders was. So if you have a look at that level we've been talking about over the last little while, you can see this drop down, which coincides with the 22.3 Fibonacci, and we've really rallied right into that, of course, on some strong volume here, almost 5 billion shares trading on the S&P 500 today. So, the question, of course, there's obviously a lot of short squeezing there. Will the market continue higher? With a few trading days left until the Christmas day hits, there's a lot of speculation as to whether we're just going to bounce right back down off this due to a lack of buying, or whether we'll kind of just drift higher for the rest of the year. So I'm taking a neutral position. I mean, once we go higher than this 2020 mark, or 2022, then I would say that we are going to continue higher at least to up the 2040 mark. But I'm playing this market neutrally. I've got shorts on and I've got longs on, so that I can kind of play the alpha within the strategy. So I found a nice, a potentially nice trade here on Dang. I've got an order open for some January $8 puts on this for a bid of 15 cents. I may end up pushing that up to 20 cents if depending on what happens in the market tomorrow. But Dang is something that's been under a lot of pressure. They didn't really experience any kind of new highs or upward movements like the market did yesterday, and they didn't make a new high today. In fact, they just went straight into resistance at this previous level. So I'm looking for a drop down to this $8 price from where it's currently at 9, and looking at $8 as the target for just under a $9 fill. Of course, I'm more looking at the option play as well on this. As I said, the January 16th expiration $8 puts. So there's Dang. So I like that to the short side. I also was taking a look here at LTS. And if we go over to LTS, this is actually just a very short-term long that I'm trying to take a position in. I've got a bid in for $3.90 for this. It's currently at $4.06. So I've got a bid in at $3.90. I'm looking at this as a bump and run formation. So I can get a pullback to that support that I just broke, a resistance that I just broke through, now support. I'm looking for a rally from $3.90 up to $4.07 is where I've got my sell target in, and that's just shy of this downward trend line. I think that there's potential for it to go higher, but this is just a nice little scalp, potentially, got a 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio. I've got my stop loss in at $3.84. Okay, the other one, HOS, Hornbeck Offshore Services. Hornbeck, I've also got an open bid in on. So if you look at the 5-day moving average, we come in here around $20.95. That seems to be what's been holding it back and what it broke through today. Of course, you can see that nice little base forming at the bottom here, and wasn't crushed by some of those previous days where we were shooting down quite a lot. It seems to have formed a base there. So I've got an open order here at 21.03 for a buy limit. I have a sell in at around 24 at exactly 24.75, and I have my stop loss set up at 19.03. So looking at hopefully about $1 worth of risk for $3.70 potential reward. So I liked it from that standpoint. Now, one thing I'll point out that of course, these are all just things for your own watch list, not recommendations to buy or sell. But one thing you may want to consider within your own risk profile is how much position sizing you are doing. With the amount of volatility in the market, big moves are happening in short periods of time, and of course, we are running into a holiday break. One thing I'm doing is I'm scaling back my position sizes, so I'm actually putting half essentially of what I would normally put into different positions, and taking on more positions but with less in each to diversify amongst the strategies, amongst the stocks. So the final one that I wanted to point out to people was more of something I'm watching for a potential day trade. But this one, because it's a very volatile beast, and it's not NOG, sorry, it is GASL. Now GASL, very volatile. It's a triple bull ETF. And this has had some, so for day traders, you'd love this because, I mean, up 12.5% today, yesterday, up 26.23% today, and it's just starting to curl around. You can see it formed a nice little base, what I call a fallen angel. And obviously after a big drop from 14 bucks down at 462 over the last 4 weeks. So the kind of way I'm looking at trading this as an intraday setup, just breaking down to the 1 hour chart, you can see that our money flow has just turned positive. It's been diverging positive throughout this entire decline. So there could be an aggressive move tomorrow. From a risk reward standpoint, I'm trying to snag this around $4.45 and wanting to put a stop loss in around, say, $4.25, which is just under this moving average, the 9 hour moving average. So looking at kind of trying to get in around $4.45. Stop at $4.25 and kind of looking at a target area of $4.93, which is where that shelf of support was there and where the moving averages start to hit around $5. But on a more aggressive standpoint, I'm looking at that potentially being able to push even a little bit further up towards this $6 mark. So, but because of the volatility of it, I'm going to be watching that closely in the day. I don't have an open order on my brokerage account yet, so I'm going to be watching that at the open. But hopefully those are a few trading ideas for you going into tomorrow's market. Of course, risk-reward ratios are ever important. Keep you safe and make sure you consider all your stop losses and your risk profiles. With that, happy trading, and we'll see you in the next video. And if you don't already have a subscription to our trading room services and our daily videos, make sure you go to acornwealthcorp.com, simply click contact us and request a trial. Terrific. See you soon.